again, YouTube. Chrissy here at A Little Glam, A Lot of Mom. Welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm Chrissy, a homeschool mom of 5 from early elementary to senior high school / dual enrolled in college. Welcome to this week in our schoolhouse. So I've mentioned in the past, I'm not really efficient at vlogging. Therefore, I'm not good at filming day in the life type vlogs. It's just really cumbersome and distractive on our day. So I thought, why not do it all week long? No, seriously. So my thought process was filming smaller snippets every day, and being that it wouldn't have to be so cohesive, might make it a little bit easier. Anyway, I'm not sure that it was easier. I'm not sure that I like the outcome, but here's the footage that I collected. So to set the premise, this is the second week of November, and the plan was to get this video out last week. But of course, we all got the flu a few days after this footage. Some got the stomach flu, others the cold. One is still even battling an ear infection. And you'll see that natural slowdown of our bodies and days progressively here in the week. So I started collecting this footage on a Sunday as I prepared our hearts and our home and some materials for the week. So this week we're exploring the pumpkin life cycle along with a mini literature guide by Hearth Magic inspired by the book Pumpkin Soup by Helen Cooper, an autumn classic. Some of the girls and I spent most of the day just being cozy and lounging about and creating a wonderful pumpkin life cycle chalk drawing on our chalk door. I took breaks in between to prepare pumpkin soup, prepare some materials for the next day, and tend to the house. Monday is co-op day with my 3 youngest. My teens stay at home majority of the day on Mondays to work on independent work, and then late afternoon time one has a work shift and the other has sports on Mondays. I look forward to Mondays because we get to spend the morning together. Our season with the teens has once again shifted. They've gone from young teens to young adults in the blink of an eye. They're building a life of their own, and so we're seeing them less and less at home as they're gently preparing to spread those wings and fly out of the nest. I'm thankful that it's a gradual process because my heart, and I'm thankful that they still choose home as their comfort space to come back to at the end of the day when they've had enough exploring of the big world. And so now more than ever, I cherish the hours that we do get together at home in between their busy lives of part-time high school, part-time college, extracurriculars, volunteering jobs, and a social life. They're balancing so much, and I'm so proud of them. And so my role now has shifted. My role is now to support them and ask them how I can show up for them rather than tasking them out with things anymore. My role is in encouraging them when they're overwhelmed and occasionally assisting them with prioritizing and time management as well. Even teens sometimes forget to not overbusy themselves with jam-packed schedules. So tell me you're a homeschool mom without telling me you're a homeschool mom. It might be the homeschool mom swag bag or the handkerchief. Let me tell you though that this Made to Homeschool Mom canvas bag is my favorite for lugging around books. So I've been talking about Made to Homeschool for a while, but in case you still don't know what it is, with your Made to Homeschool membership, you get 24/7 homeschool support by experienced homeschool moms. Made to Homeschool is an encouraging homeschool community. All of the content that I contribute to Made to Homeschool is exclusive to Made to Homeschool. And December's content is super exciting because it is a book guide to go along with my favorite Latino Christmas book, Twas Nochebuena. And the book is about a Latino family and their Nochebuena or Christmas Eve traditions. And so in my book guide, I'm sharing several Latino Nochebuena or Christmas Eve traditions like novenas, which is Christmas caroling, nature journaling through La Flor de Nochebuena, which is the poinsettia. There is authentic recipes and role playing and creating pesebres, which is nativity scenes, handicrafts. There's even loteria, which is bingo in Mexico, vocabulary, and so much more. All of the information to sign up for Made to Homeschool will be in the description box of this video. So we're spoiled because our co-op, since we live beachside, is a beautiful park right on the beach. And this semester's co-op's topic is ancient Egypt. This day we had a lesson on Cleopatra. The kids had a few activities to choose from, making peg dolls, browsing through some books, and a few hands-on games. At co-op, I like to give the kids plenty of free play time with their friends, so we end up following up with the lesson at home. I've laid out a spread on the table here of our personal ancient Egypt resources, and this is what they'll work on for the rest of the day. Bella and Noah finished their peg dolls. Bella made a Cleopatra and a Sphinx cat. They've also completed these literary worksheets. They were to read through these 2 pages of prompts and then fill in the vocabulary words. They've completed the coloring pages at co-op during the read aloud. I laid out a stack of books to browse and match a mummy. This is an educational spin on Memory Match, one of our all-time favorite resources. And supplies for learning more about hieroglyphs. So I've laid out some papyrus paper I sourced on Amazon a while ago, a reference book on hieroglyphs, and a stencil. So let's see what they come up with. And game schooling for the math practice today through Uno. The Uno game can be modified into different concepts to practice math. And one of our favorite ways is Math Scrabble. So basically, it plays the concept off of Scrabble only with numbers. So the way that it works is each player basically takes a turn to create a mathematical equation. So for example, if you had the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5 in your hand, you could create the equation 1 plus 2 equals 3. And then you would then place a line on the board 1, 2, and 3. Another good math concept to play with Uno is war, or war with 2 digits and 3 digits. And then for a younger child, just simply describing the deck in traditional Uno. On Tuesday morning, the kids woke up to a storytelling basket. One of my favorite seasonal traditions is to create storytelling baskets. The basket can be filled with various items that inspire creativity to engage children in the world of stories and encourage a love for storytelling and reading. So included in this basket is, of course, the book that you're creating the basket inspired by. And then some of my favorite staples are things like play silks, loose parts. We love storytelling puppets, and these are created by Hearth Magic. She has wonderful hand illustrated and watercolored storytelling puppets for many classic picture book stories up on her Etsy shop, and I'll link her shop in the description box. I also like to include some of our wooden animals, any that may appropriately correspond with the story. Noah volunteered to read aloud today. Then for some bookwork, Bella and Noah worked in their reading journals, each choosing a literary prompt menu to follow on Pumpkin Soup. It was also a good day to practice handwriting, and my favorite way to work on handwriting is in a group setting like this. So everyone does have their independent handwriting level and workbook. However, I like to do it in a group setting like this because I can float about in between each child and assist as needed. And for math on this day, we explored fractions together with Pizza Fraction by Learning Resources. This is one of our all-time favorite math games. using pizza to teach fractions. It's just genius. It's a hands-on, engaging way for students to understand the concept of fractions. So this particular resource is great for multiple ages because it features 7 different ways on the spinner to play with multiple levels of challenge. An easier challenge, for example, is identifying the fractions. Then there's matching fraction equivalents, and then some of the more difficult challenges are like performing fraction addition and subtraction. On Wednesday morning, we couldn't put down this read aloud, Fatty Legs. This is a biography of a Inuvialuit girl's resiliency and strength at a residential school. This book left an emotional and intellectual imprint in our hearts and minds. I've mentioned that I've been on the endeavor of seeking true stories about history. It's crucial, it's necessary for historical injustices, preserving cultural heritage, and just overall promoting understanding of human history in our children and human kindness in future generations. November is Native American Heritage Month, and so we've been reading and listening to traditional storytelling and music and folklore, and just with a willingness and humility to learn and amplify voices of truth. If you follow me on Instagram, then you've already probably been able to see in real time our reads and activities for Native American Heritage Month. So Wednesday ended up being a catch-up day. We wrapped up the pumpkin life cycle lesson with an illustration and copy work in nature journals. The youngest did independent reading. I read with Luna. Then they were free to engage in free play for the rest of the day. While the youngest had the rest of the day off, I had to work with the teens on choosing and registering for spring semester classes at the local college where they're dual enrolled. We have to cross-reference calendars and shifts since they try to coordinate being on campus the same day and even take some of the same classes together. It's a few hours process. And the day ended filming here because we had to end up taking an impromptu field trip to the campus to sort out some registration issues and parking pass issues. So that leads us into Thursday morning, where we pick up the day significantly after morning worship, meals, and getting dressed for the day. We pick up with Red Wall, which is language arts and a medieval Europe history block, although today it was more focused on language arts than history. The kids worked on a character journal entry and copy work. I write down the copy work on this erase board. You'll see here that through copy work, they work on handwriting and grammar. I've prompted them to underline in different colors the parts of speech, and then I modified this work for my youngest Luna. She completed the character illustration and dictated the character traits that I write down for her. For math, I'm working in two groups today with Bella and Noah. We're working in the Beauty of Plays multiplication in our main lesson books on number line work illustrations. Luna has officially crossed the Rainbow Bridge. She's 7, and so this is now when I start introducing formal lessons to my students. And so this year I'm gently introducing new math concepts to her. I am using the old version of the Good and the Beautiful math workbooks that I've had since Bella was younger than her age, but I don't use it from cover to cover. I take the work off the page and I'm using it more as a teacher guide to introduce these new math concepts. I always leave the option open for the busy work or the worksheet type of work, and if she decides she wants to do it, then I do save those days and I seize those opportunities to save the work for our portfolios. And so we're working on tally marks for the next few weeks. I woke up a little bit earlier on Friday to just take some time for myself and refresh my nail polish. Showing up for myself, even in the smallest of ways, is still showing up for myself. I mentioned that we were feeling some sort of sickness coming on, and one of my favorite homemade juices is carrot, orange, and ginger, and turmeric. So 2 Corinthians 13:14 says, "The grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit with you all." After breakfast, cleanup, and some devotional and worship time, it was finally not so much of a gloomy day yet anyway, and so we decided to step out for a walk, some vitamin D, and some fresh air in our lungs. On Friday mornings, the teens and I gather again to kind of catch up and resync of what's going on or what has gone on during the week. This is about the time that we also sit down together to read through history and some science. Today, the younger kids chose to work on multiplication, but I did sit down to work individually with each one. Noah chose to use Montessori beadwork to practice multiplication today, whereas Bella chose to use rod work to practice multiplication work today. Seven. 9 times 8.
72.
9 times 9.
81.
9 times 10.
90.
9 times 11. 99. 9 times 11 is 99.
99.
And 9 times 12.
108.
Our work week ended with cuddles on the couch and a folk tale on the badger and the bear. And our week ends here. I hope that you enjoyed this very relaxed type of footage so that you can see our very unschooly, relaxed, child-led type of education. That was the point. Happy holidays to you guys, and yay, Christmas season is upon us. Until my next video, thanks so much for your love.